Good evening. This is Dee, and this is Critical Break. It is New Year's Day, Gregorian calendar-wise, and I'm being pushed to do the streams, at least for now, more frequently than once a week. So I'm gonna shoot for 3 times a week. Mondays, Wednesdays, and either Friday or Saturday. I'm not sure yet. Probably Saturday, maybe. We'll see. Anyway, I am going to pull up the chat and see how everybody's doing this evening and give a few moments for everybody to come into the room. Oh, you. Anyway, it has been a crazy couple of days since I was on here last. Just some interesting things that happened. I wanted to talk about expectations and just kind of set some parameters, I guess, for the mods and things of that nature. Those coming here are going to be in various stages of being awake. I know it can be a long process, and some people wake up really fast. Some were born awake. Others had to kind of find their way, muddle through over time. So the thing is, we need to make sure we respect other people's opinions, even if we know they differ drastically from our own. I don't know everything. I wish I did. I'm working on it, but yeah, not even close yet. But I want to hear other people's opinions, and I know all of us are going to have bits and pieces of this big giant puzzle, so to speak. And maybe if we all put those pieces together, we can figure out what's going on. So everybody try to be open-minded and respectful. I don't care what your religion is. I don't care. I shouldn't say don't care, because that's not the right wording for me. But religion, political preferences, sexual preferences, all that stuff. There's no judgment here. And I don't want to see it in the chat room. So make sure, be respectful to the other people in the chat room. And the mods will be really good about, if somebody's causing problems, they'll just time them out. And if it's just a difference of opinion, just let them have their difference of opinion. That's okay. If I see we got a few people in. If you could let me know if the audio is working okay. I don't have the other computer running tonight, so I don't know. But let's see. So as far as all that goes, just try to keep an open mind, and also try to contemplate some of the other people's opinions and their takes on different things that, you know, because one person may think orbs are one thing, another person may be certain they're something else. So that is, oh, thank you, Spirit of Truth. That's awesome. Anyway, so those are pretty much the basics. Just respect each other and know that there's some things you're not going to agree with. So don't let it stop you from participating or interacting with everybody else. Um, I think, like I stated before, I think this is going to be a fantastic adventure for all of us. Um, the channel purpose is to be a hub, a place for people like us to gather up in various states of awareness, um, and share our experiences. As I found, all of us seem to have one thing in common for sure, and that's autoimmune disorders. So it'll be really easy to work on that side of things, because many of us have discovered that pharmaceuticals aren't working for us. And so this hub is here to help with that. It's here to help with coping. It's here to help with ideas, networking with each other. Because I think a lot of us feel this pull, this mission that we're supposed to be doing. And some of you already know what your mission is. Some of you are discovering your mission. Hi, OR. It's good to see you, sweetie. Long time no see. Um, I miss you guys a lot. It's just, it's a community, a vaping community. I'll hold this up. This is a vaping device. um, they are fantastic people, and my mission has kind of been keeping me away from them, and I hate that because I do miss them. I think about them all the time. And make sure, if you talk to any of them, or let them know that I do think about all of them. And I have been watching shows, stopping in on some of the live streams from time to time, but I haven't been chatting, just kind of lurking in the background. So just let them know I am thinking about them. It's just right now I've got something I need to do, and the research I was doing on ancient text and other things, paranormal things and stuff like that, was taking up a huge amount of my time. So I haven't gotten to spend any with you guys really that much, except for in heart and the lurking. So anyway, um, but let them know for me if you would. Um, let's see. So if you are smoking, I'm not going to condemn you for that, uh, because the hey Tony, how you doing? It's good to see you. Glad you came. Uh, I won't condemn you over smoking because the nicotine itself, whether it's cigarettes or vaping or the gum or whatever you chose, you know, however you chose to intake your nicotine, does seem to play a part in the autoimmune disorders we have, interestingly enough. I will save the details about that for uh, my good friend Spirit of Truth, I think, maybe joining me maybe Wednesday night. And she can explain that a little bit more for you. She has over 30 years experience with dealing with autoimmune disorders, the MTHFR mutations, and natural protocols. And she's fantastic. And she's just like us. So I'm looking forward to that. We both fly by the seat of our pants. I haven't really put together much to say tonight. So once again, just like the last stream, I'm just going to talk and whatever comes to mind. Uh, but I'm looking forward to Wednesday night. And like I said, it's not set in stone. We fly by the seat of our pants. So um, hopefully she'll be with me Wednesday or maybe Saturday. Just, we'll play it by ear. So, uh, so the resources of this hub, also, so you have the health aspect with the autoimmune disorders. You have the sharing and gathering information between all of us, because I think we all have pieces of this puzzle. And also the support for each other, um, and networking. And part of the networking is going to be each of you have missions. Yes, yes. I'm glad she reminded me. Spirit of Truth reminded me. She promised me an exclusive on some things she hasn't even shared with me yet. And there's some more recent things that happened with her. So that is going to be a really exciting stream. So I hope you guys can join us for that, or at least get to watch the replay. It's a lot more fun if you can be here for the live streams. But she's a wealth of information, and the things that have happened to her. Yeah, wow. Just, you'll see what I'm talking about. I'm not giving anything away, except for it's going to be good. Let's see, what else was I talking? Oh yeah, the networking. Spirit of Truth is working on her own videos. She had started doing it, but the technical end is overwhelming for her. So if anybody has the gift of the technical side of video production, or uploading, editing, any of that, if you could get with her, that would be amazing. So that's our hub. It's going to be us working with each other and getting this mission out to everybody else. The big thing is, I think, with all of us with these, I'm not going to say we're the only people with abilities. I think everybody on the planet has them. It's just ours might be kind of amplified. I may be wrong about that. I'm open to anybody else's ideas on that, but that's just what I've witnessed. Um, the energy that we give off, and the energy that happens when there's a lot of us together, is profound. And there's other groups like this, roughly. um, and I think we're all feeling a need to gather up and get the uh, ball rolling, so to speak. A calling is happening. And so anyway, let's see, the power this energy has when we're gathered up is tremendous. And I think if we can focus that on things that will help the planet, I don't think it could hurt. I think it could quite possibly turn things around a bit, maybe a lot. So there's a website that's working on focusing their intent at certain times through the week, and you can log in and it tells you what everybody's focusing on, and everybody meditates, puts their focus and energy on that said particular project, which can be sending good energy to a country that's had an earthquake. It can be all kinds of things. All good, no bad. Not focusing on killing any officials or anything crazy. So it's just putting out positive. So I thought maybe we could utilize their website for that purpose if we as a group have another purpose on top of the one that's stated inside their platform. We could focus on both. Um, I don't know. I can walk and chew bubble gum at the same time, so I don't know why we can't do more than one topic, basically. So that's my hope. I was going to talk a little bit more about some of my experiences. Like I said, I'd much rather talk and hear your stories than my own. But I thought if I put some of what I've had happen, maybe with me, you can relate and feel more comfortable in sharing with the rest of the group. And as more people come on and come on the streams, and you get to know them in the chat or via the streams, I think the feeling of being comfortable will come naturally. So anyway, let's see. I'm trying to decide what I should talk about as far as my experiences. The the interesting thing that happened during the last stream was I was talking about the orbs and that I have a name to one in particular. it was interesting because I suddenly couldn't speak because I was busy coughing. The timing of that was kind of interesting. So I guess I'll just continue with some of what I was talking about the last stream. The other thing that crossed my mind later after I did the stream was I was talking about the memory of being on board interstellar craft. And the thing that I'm still trying to work out for myself is, was it a very vivid dream? Was I really there? Or did I pop into somebody's head and experience something? Because those are all possibilities. Oh, okay. Okay, I've got a question from the chat. And this is another thing I was going to say, that during the streams, I'm going to do my best to pay more attention to what's going on in the chat. The first one was just, you know, it's the first one. You're just kind of getting it behind you, so to speak. So, so I wasn't really paying attention to chat, but I promise you I'm going to try to do that. And if there's some reason I'm in the middle of something, that I'm like doing a share screen where I'm not going to really see the chat, I'll let you guys know. That way, if you're trying to speak to me directly, you'll know to hold your questions for a minute or something. But Tony was asking, he said, what are your thoughts about being bombarded by alien faces during meditation? Okay, I know exactly what you're talking about because I get those too. One thing you're going to have to start, if you haven't already, distinguishing between the feeling of what it feels like when something negative is near you and when you don't. Let's say, for instance, I've run across people that have what I call attachments. And it's really creepy. I instantly can read them. Like, it's really weird. I instantly can read them. The feeling I get is almost like the feeling you get when you're going on a roller coaster downhill really fast. That's the feeling I get when I'm around something really nasty negative. And when they look me in the eyes, it's weird. It's like they sense or they know what I am, and they can't look me in the eye. They'll look away. They get a weird grimace on their face, and they won't look me in the eye again. You just have to you got to attune and really sense your surroundings. And if you feel negative energy, you know you can make it go away. Because the thing is, we're made in the image of our source. We're all part of it. And that makes us just as capable of being creators and putting limits on your surroundings. So I would say, learn to sense, when real negative is around you, and learn how to, I make bubbles. This is what I do. Let me describe this. So some of you that don't know how to do this yet or need some ideas, I envision, just think of a ball, like a little kid's ball, a little, round ball with air in it. Pick the color that resonates with you. If there's a color that you really, really resonate with, like me, it's purple. Everything purple. And I mean, teal does too to some extent, but purple, that's major for me. And I will, in my head, imagine a purple ball. And then I start expanding that ball. Okay. And this ball is energy. So think of it almost like the orbs, basically. Put your energy, if you bring the light up into your head, put it into the ball. And just envision this ball glowing. And then make it bigger and bigger and bigger. Make it surround you. And then that light, line the whole thing with light. And that's your perimeter. As you get better at it, I would do it every day. As you get better at it, expand your ball to include your entire house, a block away, 2 blocks away. Just expand it however far you feel comfortable. And just kind of meditate on, this is the realm, this realm I've made on every dimensional level is for the benevolent, and only the benevolent are allowed within this realm, period. And I would do that probably every day and practice it. And then eventually you can get your bubble really big if you want to, however big you feel comfortable making it. That will shield you from getting anything negative. Keep in mind that if you're getting faces, if they don't, you have to remember, just because something looks weird to you doesn't mean it's negative. You'll get some really weird looking things come through. You hear about people doing ayahuasca or mescaline or peyote and things like that. And the beings they see, you can see those and do that without the aid of drugs. And they're going to look weird to you and kind of scary. So, so just as long as you don't feel that going down a roller coaster and your stomach drops out feeling, you're probably okay. So just try to tune into your body and what you're sensing from it. If it's negative, tell it to get the hell out. It doesn't belong here. This is your area, your space. Tell it to leave. It's that simple. And like I said, if you run into somebody that has an attachment, they can't look you in the eyes. They just can't. And so we definitely have a lot of power. And I would say, a dominion of sorts. So use your power, stand in your power. No doubt and no fear. Just know you're the boss. Just know it. That's the best way I can describe it. I hope that helps. You get overwhelming fear, you're going to have to work on it. Just keep practicing that you are the boss of your space, period. End of subject. No ifs, ands, or buts. Yeah, Spirit of Truth might have some ideas too. Um, yeah, there you go. Okay. But yeah, just practice it and know it. You need to know that in your heart of hearts. You are the boss. That's all there is to it. And they can't touch you. No, 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 no. So anyway, as far as, let's see, what else should we talk about? Yeah, yeah. The chat's just discussing the different uh, implanting. Yes, people get implants and people get them pulled out again too. And those can be interdimensional or they can be actual solid real world implants. There's two different kinds. So, and they can cause different problems or just a hassle, so to speak. So let's see. So I wanted to clear that up about the ship or the ships in general. Um, as far as those particular two ships, um, I'm not sure if I popped into somebody's head. Um, we're going to work on that. Um, I never thought I would ever allow any kind of regression. Um, but on that, I don't have answers yet, specifically on that topic. And I really want to know what was I there or did I pop into somebody's head or was it just a dream? Um, you know, dreams can be pretty vivid. So, but this was, yeah, more than just vivid. So, um, let's see. Oh, I talked about my older sister. I have a little sister, actually two of them. Um, my uh, little sister, Michelle, is 5 years younger than me, and she's suffering from autoimmune, and that poor thing, she's going through heck and back. She's not really on a natural protocol, and she, I feel for her, I really do. Um, she is bright blue-eyed, dark hair. Um, she is super smart. Um, I always felt bad for her because Debbie and I were super attached at the hip pretty much because we're so close together in age, and she was 5 years after me. So she kind of got left out, sort of, I guess was a good way to put it. But always adored her. You know how it is. You know, the little siblings are the pest, or that's the way you look at them when you're a teenager, particularly. So I've got a sister and a brother. from my father, my biological father. And I only had contact with them a couple of times my entire life. And I don't know a whole lot about them. I know their names. I know their birth dates. Other than that, not a whole lot. So, but one of them is in age between me and my little sister. So somewhere inside that 5-year period. I think she's just slightly younger than me. The brother is probably 5 or 6 years younger than me, somewhere in there. But so yes, I have siblings. I also have or had step siblings too that were, well, my mom was married 5 times, so yeah, that gets confusing. But my older sister and my little sister um, were raised together, and I adore them. The let's see, what else? I don't think my little sister experiences anything on the paranormal side. If she does, she's never talked about it. My older sister um, has bizarre synchronicities happen um, where she'll say something and then it'll, like a radio or a TV or a billboard or something will, or somebody, somebody else will say exactly what she just got done saying. Um, I think all of us have experienced that. Um, I don't know if she's had anything else paranormal, so hard telling. Um, let's see. Oh, I'm going to pick some experiences I've had. Let's see. I'm trying to decide if I want to go with um, younger or older. um, let's go with I'll go with some experiences I've had with interdimensional or extraterrestrial. Let's go with that. The first experience that I actually remember, and I say that because they have the ability to mind wipe you and keep you from remembering anything they want to. Um, I was laying in bed and I felt the bed kind of wiggle, and then, sorry about the noise, my son just walked through, but the bed kind of jiggled and it felt like, I thought my cat had jumped on the bed, and I didn't think anything of it. And I can tell you this, it felt like the cat, but it felt a little bit heavier than the cat. But at the time, you're not expecting it to be something other than your cat. I was laying there, and I was laying on my back on the bed, and I felt what felt like the cat jump up. Then I felt it go over my leg and in between my legs, and then over the other leg and up to the corner um, right-hand side of the bed. I don't know what made me open my eyes, but I did. And there was intense blue light at the corner, on the right-hand corner of my bed, at the foot of the bed. The being was very small. Um, couldn't have been more than 3 feet at the most tall. The method of its movement reminded me of a chimpanzee. Um, fast, on all fours, but could stand upright too. Very tiny and vivid blue. Just electric blue. And really nondescript. You hear people talk about grays. Looks sort of like that. But not gray. Blue. Intense blue. They have the ability to keep you from moving. They have the ability to completely keep you from remembering any of it. But I think they have a purpose in letting you remember certain parts of your experience. So, oh, there were so many experiences because I've had this happen a lot of times. The first few times they came to visit me, I tried to kill them. That was what was in my head. You know, wait till I get a hold of you, little shit, you know, kind of thoughts, you know what I mean? Because you're rudely awakened from sleep. The light is so intense because your eyes are adjusting from just waking up. So you're like squinting and blinking and you can't move. And I know people say, oh, those are just sleep paralysis. No. They're not just sleep paralysis. The first few times I was wanted to kill them, they kept me from moving on the bed. They took my mattress, not the entire bed, just the top mattress, with me on it, out through, it's hard to describe. I had a window in my bedroom and a closet door near that window. And they took me out through there, right through the wall, right through part of the window. That's the best way to explain it. You just go right through. And the first few times, that's all I remembered was them taking me. And I reasoned to myself, you know, I was like, okay, they haven't hurt me. I don't have any bruises. Um, they didn't hurt me. So I thought to myself, instead of fighting, I'll just go and not put a big fuss and try to kill them. So uh, I've been taken since. I remember bits and pieces of it. Um, I do remember telling them I'm going to remember, and they kind of chuckle, and it's like, you can try, but I don't think you're gonna. And you do remember little pieces. But they've never hurt me. Some people say that um, they get examined. I've been examined, but not not implanted with embryos or anything that I know of. Nothing of that nature. So um, uh, they, I don't feel fear with them anymore, and I think they know it. So I get to remember a little bit more all the time. When it's hard to describe, but if any of you have had it happen, you'll know what I'm talking about. The They are tiny. The blue ones are. Um, I do have experiences with human-like entities that are connected to the blue ones. The best way to describe is they're my people. That's what I feel like. When they're around, I feel nothing but unconditional love and empathy. Um, I just had an experience the other day with them. I would call them angelics, is a good way to put it. Um, the most recent experience, there was two of them. They were both male. They're both ones I know well. And they were looking at the damage done to the biosuit. And they were talking back and forth, and I was talking to them. And they were having me do different movements on a table to see, what I had messed up, basically. And back in March, I got hurt in the middle of the night. Because it's not just the good ones that come and get you, unfortunately. But I was hurt in the middle of the night. My back was messed up really bad. And they were evaluating what happened. They're like, wow. Just basically what was said was, we didn't know that it would get this bad, indicating they didn't know that we would get and go through quite as much as we have here. So some of you are going to relate to this. Others are going to go, wow, what a story. Yeah. Um, well, when I'm in their presence, like I said, it's like, these are my people. I've known them a long time. Sense of unconditional love, empathy. Um, that's just the best way to describe it. Um, hey, Richard. Good to see you. Glad you made it. Anyway, but yeah, those are the good guys. Now, unfortunately, you know, like I mentioned yesterday, we're a species with amnesia. And there are things on this planet that will take advantage of that, especially if you have abilities or gifts. And I have woken up a few times with things like my back or an arm or something messed up. Like back in March, my back really bad. Something really bad happened to me that night. Bad enough that my mattress was nearly halfway off the bed. I'm super OCD, so if something isn't um, straight, I'll straighten it like a picture, you know. And if my mattress isn't aligned on the box spring, it's something I notice like right away. Um, anyway, that's occurred more times than I can count. My mattress not being quite where it's supposed to be. And it's like, I'm trying to, it's like you're getting slammed back in your bed, is the best way to put it. And my back got hurt really bad in March. I'm still trying to heal from it. But after that particular time when I was with them just a couple of days ago, my back is a lot better. So I think that they helped me with that, worked on it. It's still not 100%, but it's way better. So anyway, some of my crazy experiences, you know, I think our lives would be boring if we didn't have all this weird stuff happen. I don't know. Um, it's something you get used to because when you're born with wild things going on around you all the time, it seems pretty normal. But oh, they're all talking amongst themselves in the chat. But anyway, so there's some of my experiences. And yeah, extraterrestrial in nature. I've had this past summer, uh, people call them CE5s. They'll see like one single orb ship, sometimes more. This particular night, I was laying in bed and I got a whisper in my left ear. I was laying on my right side, looking, facing, let's see, I would have been facing south. I got a whisper in my left ear, said, "Open your eyes," just like that. My eyes popped open, you know, somebody whispers in your ear. And the direction I was laying, it's hard to explain. My bedroom window is a big double window. And the way the curtains hang down, there's like this little triangle near the top that you can see out the window when the curtains are closed. Right in my line of looking out that window were, I didn't count them, But I'm going to say there was approximately 8 orb ships in a formation right in my vision, vision line through that window. And they were flashing really brightly, really fast. Bing, 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 bing. Just, it was insane. And I always have the Wi-Fi turned off on my phone, but I keep it in my bedroom because I listen to ambient music when I go to sleep. And the thought ran through my head, grab the camera or yell for Alex. I knew he was up right before I went in to lay down. And because I hadn't gone to sleep yet, I was just laying in bed with my eyes closed. And I just gotten in there. I wasn't in there less than 5 minutes. And when open your eyes in the left ear. So I yell for my son because I'm so afraid if I roll over and grab the camera, they'll be gone. And I wanted to take pictures so bad. But instead, I yelled for my son and kept my eyes on them. And I said, he came in the room. He goes, "What's the matter? What's the matter?" And I said, "Go to the window and pull the curtains back and look outside." And because I thought, I need a witness. It's one thing to take photos, but having a witness, that's something, you know? So he gets to the window and I said, "What do you see?" He's like, I said, "Do you see them?" And he's like, "Yes, what are they?" And I'm like, "Yep, they're there. It's not my imagination. He sees them too." So, because when you have experiences like this, you're constantly self-checking yourself. Have I lost my mind? Am I seeing things? Um, I mean, you just question yourself constantly. Um, it's like, please tell me I'm crazy because that would make everything so much easier. But yeah, he saw them. And they, just as he was going to the window, they were um, starting to separate from that formation, that little cluster they had made, off in different directions, shooting off. And I jumped out of the bed and went to the window. I'm standing next to my son, watching them go off in different directions. And I was like, "Oh my gosh, it's them, it's them." I mean, I could feel it. Don't know how to explain it. I could feel it, the energy. Um, and they went off on different directions. Some totally disappeared. Some kind of hung around for a while. Um, I got some video footage from that window. And so, of them, but not that particular night. But I have a witness from that night. So, so that's some of my experiences. It's it's commonplace around here. Let's put it that way. It's a good way to put it. Weird stuff happens. Um, let's see, other experiences. Let me think. Um, oh, this past summer, I was sitting on my back patio, and I was just sitting there looking at the sky because I do a lot of that. Take a lot of pictures of the sky too. But I saw an aircraft pass over the corner of the house, heading kind of southeast. Yeah, southeast. It wasn't super high. And when I first looked at it, my brain equated the life flight helicopter here because it, wasn't flying super high. So I thought it was the first thing that came to my head was the helicopter. And then I thought about it for a second and I'm like, with my hearing, I hear those coming for a long ways away. And I wasn't hearing anything. And I was like, okay, it's a plane. But as it approached, no sound, nothing. And then I thought, well, maybe it's one of the stealth bombers because I've seen those around before. Experienced one going right over my head once. I know exactly what those are like. You don't really hear anything until they get on you and past you. So, no sound, nothing, not a thing came from this vehicle. I can tell you it wasn't a UFO. It's one of ours. And they make no sound. Zero. Nothing. So they have new propulsion technology that they're using. They also have some amazing cloaking technology, but it's not perfect. I've got lots of pictures of stuff up in the clouds. What appear to be clouds, but I think it's basically cloaking. I've got a lot of pictures like that. I've also seen them cloaking in perfectly blue sky. So they've got the technology, they're doing it. I've been trying to think of the more recent stuff that's happened. A lot of you are probably experiencing something I call a download. When you're wide awake, you'll get a good way to describe it is like a tiny movie that's in full color that even has the data like the smells, temperature, everything is in that download. It's like watching an instantaneous full sense video. It's a good way to put it. I think they were just trying to get my attention, because they were showing me things I couldn't do anything about, like airline crashes. I think it was San Francisco, a Korean flight where it was short on the runway coming in and it lost its tail section, and 3 schoolgirls died in that crash. I saw it perfectly. I saw the whole thing. I even told people, I said, people, my son and a couple other people. I was like, there's an airliner. It's mostly white, which most of them are, but it is trying to land at an airport that's next to the water. This runway's right next to water. The plane's not crashing in the water. It makes it to the land, but it crashes. And the tail breaks off. And sure enough, it happened within 3 days of that download. I'm like, what am I supposed to do with that? But I think they're just trying to get your attention when they do that. Kind of giving you a heads up. Hey, this is getting ready to happen. Pay attention. So I don't know if that's training you to listen or what it is exactly. But I would get so frustrated when I get those because it's like, what do you want me to do with that? You know, if I call an airport, they're going to think I'm out of my mind. And plus, I just knew it was an airport next to water. I didn't know which one, you know, because all I got in the picture was the plane and the runway. You know, I didn't see a bridge or any way to identify, you know, where this was. So nothing you can do. So anyway, there's that. So, let's see, how long has it been? It's been an hour, a little over. So I wanted to keep these, like I said, probably 3 times a week. So it gives you all bits of information that you can kind of think about before I do another one. And start meshing the pieces of everything that I'm talking about together and trying to figure out for myself what order all that should be in. I know hopefully Wednesday we're going to do one with Spirit of Truth and start throwing in some of our health, which is really important because for us to focus our energy, we need to be healthy. And I think that will come with time for some of you. Some of you may be like me, already on that road. Some already pretty well healed up. But anyway, so I wanted to, we're going to do hangouts after the shows. I don't know if anybody's interested in doing that this evening. If you are, let me know and I'll set up a hangout. And like I was saying, it's something we can jump back into. There are some problems with Google Hangouts, with people being able to hack their way in and things like that. I mean, pretty much everything's vulnerable, but there's some holes in that one. So we may change to a different platform down the road, but it works and it's not terribly hard to use. So oh, yes. Very true. So Spirit of Truth is gonna, yeah, come on and talk about her story in general. And then we'll have Christian Truth on to talk about the health aspects. Um, so there's 2 people. There's a couple of others that I talked to that were interested in coming on. And like I said, if you're interested in coming on and talking about your stories, your and share with the rest of our little gathering, email me at criticalbreak@outlook.com, and we'll try to put a time together. I'm flexible, so if you can't do it on normal nights like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Saturday, we can do it a different night, or we can do a pre-recorded. You don't have to be on video. It can be audio only on your end if you want. So I know it's important with that reminds me, because now remember, moderators, there's a couple of people here I definitely want to make moderators. My buddy Richard and my buddy OR. OR is awesome. He does not put up with any BS. Anyway, so on the moderation, just remember, we want to get everybody's opinions. The only people, I mean, if people are acting weird, put them in a timeout. If they're being abusive, like attacking somebody else in the chat, or just, you can tell they're just a troll and they really, you know, are not here to even listen to anything. They're just to disrupt, block them. So, anyway, anybody interested in doing a hangout afterwards at all? Just let me know, and I can send you a link for a hangout. We haven't started one yet. We didn't after the last one. If we don't tonight, that's cool, because I'm just kind of going, it's like my energy got zapped. But I'm dehydrated. I know. I need to drink more water. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you, Richard. I'm tired too. Oh, yeah, you're like, aren't you? Are you in the UK or Australia or something? I don't remember, Tony. Yikes. Yeah, I feel bad because I know some of our friends that are over in Europe and things this hour. I thought about maybe staggering the Belgium. Cool. I have some other friends over there. Staggering maybe like a Wednesday show, do it midday so that people in other places can catch it. So hopefully we'll be doing that. And then there's others here that are doing videos too. So I'll get things together, do the organizing I need to do, and post a schedule over on the website. I need to update the website and all those details. Details that make our lives so fun. But anyway, anybody have any questions at all, or anything like that? You're a night owl. We tend to be night owls. I've been trying to, since I started getting better as far as the autoimmune stuff, I'm better able to retain what people would call normal hours, but I still want to lean towards the night owl. I've always been a night owl, so I don't know why. It's just a thing, I guess. Nope, not scared of the dark. Never have been. So, anywho, so I'm just going to cut out for tonight, and I will see you guys Wednesday. I think we'll do the same time, 7 p.m. on Wednesday. This Wednesday, anyway. All that's Depends. What can you see? Tony says he can see something in me. What do you see? You don't know what? Well, you know, it's interesting that you bring that up, because when I look at people, there's some people that I see something in their eyes, and some of them are good and some of them are not. Ergo, my personal channel, I See Lies. That's kind of gives you a hint to what that name's about. Anyway, I hope you all have a lovely evening. I love you guys from the earth to the stars. And yeah, don't forget, get a hold of me if you want to. Some of you I'm friended with on Facebook, and some of you got my home phone. So yeah, feel free to contact me. In the meantime, until Wednesday, I'll see you later. Have a really good night. Night night.